my projects. Coming to this tool, when we are discussing about this tool, what are the topics we are going to cover and what are the things we are going to majorly focus on this name. The tool which we are going to discuss in our session, that is IBM InfoSphere DataStage and QualityStage version 8.7. The total duration for this course we are going to discuss is 45 hours. In that, first we are going to cover with the basics part of data warehouse. Then we'll go for DataStage tool. Then we'll go for QualityStage. Then project. When it comes to this data warehousing basics, what are the topics we are going to cover and how we are going to discuss these basic concepts. While implementing any warehouse or any data mart application for any particular business, first we need to know some fundamentals about the data warehouse. Like, what is a data warehouse? Why we are implementing a data warehouse? Data warehouse architecture and operational data store. What is the meaning of ODS? What is the difference between OLTP and data warehouse applications and data warehouse lifecycle? These kind of fundamental concepts we are going to discuss by using our slides, and I'm also going to explain by comparing with one of the business process. If you take a banking industry or insurance or healthcare, depends on the business. In that particular business, how we are implementing data warehouse and where we are loading the data and what type of data loading we are going to do in our ETL process. Those basic concepts we are going to discuss in this data warehousing fundamentals. Once fundamentals of data warehouse basic complex components are completed, then we'll discuss about the modeling part of this data warehouse. See, actually, if you are working as a ETL developer, you are not going to involve in any of the modeling process. There is separate teams are available. Those are data modeling team. They will implement these models. Like they will identify what are the different type of modeling process, like levels of modeling is there: conceptual data modeling, logical data modeling, physical data modeling, and what we are going to do in conceptual data modeling, what kind of documents we are going to prepare, what is we are going to do in logical data modeling, and what is the meaning of dimension table, fact. Okay, these kind of the concepts are required to create a modeling that we are going to discuss in this modeling. While we are explaining in the modeling stuff, we will take one of the project example of modeling. In that particular project, how we get a final model for that particular business. If you take a banking, in that particular bank, what are the different subject areas are there and how we are able to create those subject areas data in model, and what is the relationship between primary to foreign key tables like dimension table to fact tables, and what is the normalization process we are following, how we implemented the star schema or snowflake schema in our data warehousing process. Those things we are going to discuss in one project, how we are doing is modeling process. Once these two fundamentals of this data warehouse and modeling concepts are completed, then we are done with data warehousing basics. Then we'll go for ETL Basics. What are those ETL basics means? What is the meaning of ETL? Extraction, transformation, and loading. The tool, whatever we want to discuss, that is also one of the graphical user interface ETL tool. As that is a graphical user interface ETL tool, the tool we are going to start discussing about what is the basic introduction about the DataStage version 8.5 or 8.7. We will discuss completely about the IBM information server. Actually, from version 8 onwards, we are going to call as a suite components. Means IBM WebSphere server is a, in the same way we have when we go for 8.7, we have IBM InfoSphere server is there. It's a combination of 5 components. What are those means? DataStage, QualityStage, information analyzer, metadata workbench, information services fast track, business grocery. There are different components are available in IBM information server. That IBM information server suite, what is the architecture of the suite? What are the client components and server types are available? Okay, and what is the functionality of those each and every server type? Generally in server side there are 4 types are there. What is the tier 1? Services tier, repository tier, engine tier, that's called information server engine, and working area tier. How to establish a connection between one tier to other tier. Those introductory session about the DataStage we are going to discuss. At that time you will also get DataStage 8.5 or 8.7 software installation into your machines based on your system configuration. Okay, we are planning to get installation is done before actual DataStage tool for batches. So when we start a basics, we are going to send a software and we are going to send our details. Then once you downloaded the software link, then we are going to install into your machine before actual DataStage is started. Right? Even you got installation of the DataStage, and okay, we also have installation of the DataStage on our desktop. You see that these are the different client components will appear in our DataStage. What are those client components? What is the purpose of each and every client component? Here the client components are, there are 2 types of clients are there. Administrative clients and user clients. See the below 2 whatever we are having is nothing but a administrative clients. And the above whatever we are having 8, these are nothing but a user clients. As a developer, we are going to work on some of the client components. See, in DataStage there are multiple different roles you can have. Even if you observe in requirement also, like in DICE, Corp to Corp, or in Monster, any of those portals, you can see some requirement on DataStage administrator who are having IBM information server suite administrator knowledge or work experience. They can work as a administrator. If you are working as administrator, means you are going to have access to these 2 client components to do administrative activities. And someone who can work as a DataStage and QualityStage developer, they can work on these 2 client components. And someone who are having IBM Information Services fast track access, they can work on fast track activities. And in the same way, we have information services director and information analyzer. Those activities, if you want to perform, we need to open IBM InfoSphere information server console. Like this, for each and every client has different purpose, and you need to have different permission to work on this client components. We'll discuss how to use these client components while doing our ETL process by using our tool, that is DataStage. We are going to start with DataStage development tool, that is designer. What is this designer? What are the different type of parallelisms are there? In DataStage, what are different type of DataStage jobs are available? What kind of processing we can perform? What is the meaning of partition techniques? What type of partition techniques we are going to apply? And how to implement active and passive operations on stages. Okay, what are the databases from DataStage to how to connect with the different type of databases like Oracle, Teradata, ODB, DB2, and how to fetch the data from some flat files like sequential file. There are multiple stages are there in DataStage. How to fetch from those flat files into our DataStage environment, and how can we do some kind of operations on the data, and what are the debugging and development process we are going to implement, and how can we connect from the DataStage to real-time stage like XML, MQ, those kind of plugins. If, for example, today we created some code in DataStage, the same code I want to use inside another code, then I'm going to have some kind of containers, a kind of boxes. How to use these containers. And sometimes apart from designing the DataStage job, we also need to write some kind of automation process by using Unix script or by using routines to do some kind of daily activities. How to create the routines and what type of routines are there in DataStage? Generally, we have two types of routines are there in DataStage. One is server routine, second one is parallel routines. Those routines also we are going to discuss. And what are the advanced stages are there in DataStage version 8.5 and 8.7? Those are range lookup, surrogate key generator, enhanced surrogate key generator features, slowly changing dimensional stage process, IBM enterprise, FTP, pivot enterprise, and some of the features also the job performance analysis, resource estimation, performance optimizer, and transformer looping condition, transformer state last row handling. These kind of some advanced features also there, which are added in 8.5 and 8.7, like a blueprint director, business operator creation, those kind of the advanced options, whatever we are having, advanced features, whatever we are having, those also we are going to discuss in DataStage. This is all about DataStage designer client. Means you are going to develop a DataStage jobs inside this one. Just I am opening the DataStage designer client by double clicking on this icon. You are able to see that the DataStage designer window with the host name and username, password, and my project name. Who will create this project means admin. Just I am entering my password and click on login. Right. Right. Okay. This is different warning. That is reset up to get the warning. Now, here in DataStage, this is a new window which shows which environment you want to log in. Do you want to log in DataStage parallel job, sequence job, server job, mainframe job, or recently open map specification? Actually, we are going to select DataStage jobs. In job, there are different kind of DataStage jobs are there. If you are extracting data from mainframe, completely we are going to have mainframe jobs, parallel jobs, older version server job is there, and the sequence job is nothing but a kind of batch jobs. If I am a developer, one of my colleagues is also developer, other one is also developer. Like this, we have 10 people. These 10 people developed nearly 300 jobs. Those 300 jobs I want to create a kind of batch. If you want to create such a kind of batch here, we are going to use the sequence job creation. Just let me show you how to open a DataStage job and how to see the code and everything. Just I'm selecting parallel jobs.
What is difference between parallel and sequence job?
Sequence is a kind. It's not a question actually. You can find like this. Not sequence job. DataStage parallel job to server job.
Okay.
Sequence is not a difference because when you go for DataStage, sequence is common in server jobs. Sequence is common in mainframe jobs. Sequence is common in parallel jobs also because sequence jobs are the jobs which are going to create a batches. Batches means I'm a developer, I design 10 jobs. My other colleague is there, he also developed 15 jobs. Other one is there, developer 3 is there, that guy developed for example 20 jobs. Now we want to run this entire 45 jobs who are developed by 3 developers in a batch, like a kind of sequence. Those 45 jobs may be server jobs, maybe parallel job, maybe mainframe job. We can put in sequence. Sequence is kind of batch, but it's common for every environment. But the question generally you can find is what is the basic differences between server jobs to parallel job? Because even still we are using, some clients are migrated to 8.7, but few clients still using server jobs version. Maybe after April 2013, they will also migrate to 8.7 because IBM is withdrawing their support for DataStage 7.5x2 and the earlier versions of data. What are the older versions are there? Those versions they're completely stopping their support. That's the reason maybe the license, okay, what are they are having, that's going to expire. All clients they are going to move. I think after before or April, or maybe they will start. As IBM announced last year itself, they want to stop the support for their 7.5x2. They will only support for 8.1, 8.5, 8.7, and 9.1, that is beta version release. Right, what are the basic differences between server jobs and parallel jobs? Coming to the server jobs and parallel jobs, there are a lot of differences there. Let me give you a basic overview. I can develop a DataStage job in server environment. I can develop a DataStage job in parallel environment. The first difference is, if I develop a DataStage job in server jobs environment, both compilation and running will happen server side. Means DataStage is a ETL tool that follows the client server architecture. We are developing a DataStage job. This is a client environment. We log into client component, that is designer. Even though I developed a DataStage job in client component, when I click on compile and when I click on run, both compilation and running of server job will happen server side. Due to this, it will occupy more space on ETL server and it will also time consuming process, both because every running of DataStage job and compilation should be run on server machine. But when it comes to parallel jobs, compilation will always happen on client side, only running should run on server machine. That is the first difference. Second difference is, when you go for server jobs, what are the jobs you are creating in server jobs environment that will going to execute sequentially only, except one situation, like by using link collector, link partitioner stages. Rest of all jobs designs, whatever you design, those will execute sequential. Sequentially means step by step, one by one. But when you go for parallel job, it will support a kind of parallelism techniques. There are different type of parallelism techniques we can see data stage, that is pipeline parallelism, partition parallelism, and repartitioning also if required. But that is not possible in server jobs. And even when you go for server jobs, what are the stages are there as a developer level? If you want to do the lookup operation, the lookup is one operation actually. Or if you want to do the remove duplicates operation, or if you want to do joining of the data, if you want to do SCD implementation, there is no separate stages for that. By using existing stages only we can do that all operations. But when we go for parallel jobs, for every specific operation for lookup there is separate stage is there. For removing the duplicates, remove duplicate stage is there. For doing a constraints or anything, we have a separate transformer is there. That's called parallel transformer. And even when you go for lookup or join or surrogate key implementation or SCD implementation, there is separate states are there in parallel jobs. And those states also will support parallelism, pipeline parallelism and partition parallelism. It can process the data very fast. And one more difference is server jobs will support basic coding. The code behind server jobs is basic language. Especially when we go for transformer stage, transformer is one stage in data stage. When you go for transformer stage, when you're comparing with server jobs to parallel job, transformer stage, what are the functions, macros, routines, transforms are written in basic language. When we go for parallel jobs, it will completely support in C++ language. What are the functions, macros, routines, anything, whatever we are writing in transformer stage, it will support C++. Like this, okay, developer level, there are differences are there. Architecture level, there are nearly 40 to 50% of difference is there. There are a lot of difference between server jobs to parallel jobs. When we go for actual class, I'll show you what is the basic difference between server jobs to parallel jobs, and even there are a lot of new features is there from server jobs version of DataStage 7.52, and even 8.7 also there is server jobs version is there. But when already you are getting 8.7 means people are not going to use server version, they are going to use parallel to implement the parallelism concept in DataStage. That is an advantage. Without parallelism, there is no much difference between DataStage to other ETL tools. Only advantage in DataStage tool, that is parallelism, and recently added features also like QualityStage, information analyzer, metadata workbench, information business glossary, blueprint director. There are a lot of features added in 8.5 and 8.7. There we are going to identify a lot of difference between existing versions to latest versions. So I'm showing you some jobs which I created for my previous batches. This is a repository which is automatically going to create when you install DataStage software. In repository, we can see different type of jobs which are created by me. DataStage batch is on one, batch 9 to 10 is on folder. Inside this one, we can see that there are different jobs are designed. See, this is one job. This is doing some operation. Like this, we are going to design some graphical designs in DataStage. This graphical design is nothing but a job. As we are in parallel canvas, this is parallel job. Okay, I'll show you how to create. Just an example I'm showing. For example, see, this is another job which is doing another operation, and this is another job. See, this is another job which is taking the data from databases like Oracle. It's taking the data from Oracle connector stage. If you see in older versions of DataStage, there we have Oracle enterprise stage and native stage. But when we go for the 8.5 and 8.7, we have Oracle connector stage is there. There is some performance issue also resolved, which is not there in Oracle enterprise stages, and connectivities and testing we can do very easily by using these connector stages without even running a DataStage job. We can check the connectivity between DataStage to database also. Like this, we are going to design the DataStage jobs. And apart from this, just let me show you how to create a DataStage server jobs. This is just an example of server job. When we are in server, we can find this is a server job. But we are not going to focus on server jobs in this class. We are going to completely discussing on parallel jobs only. And apart from that, we are also going to discuss about sequence jobs, how to create sequences. See, this is a kind of batch. Just I'll show you how to create this kind of batches. This is a flow batch. In this batch, if you see in DataStage, okay, this kind of batch means there are n number of jobs are there in data stage. These jobs are we put in batch. Inside each job activity, there is one data stage job. That may be server job, that may be parallel job. Just let me open. I click here, open job. Put the job inside it. That may be simple job or that may be complex job. Anything. Second job, open. Like this, if you want to open a particular job, you can simply open which is there inside that particular data stage. This is a kind of sequence. Sequence is there, parallel is there, server is there, and mainframe. Apart from this data stage, job creation, and for example, when job is finished, I want to see the log. Okay, what kind of log message we are going to get? Those are the information we can see through director client component. And we are also going to discuss about administration activities also, and how to work on as a data stage administrator, and what kind of work we are having in admin client component, and what are the environmental variable we are setting up. As a developer, no need of administrator knowledge, but at least a minimum knowledge should be there. Not 100% knowledge, at least a minimum knowledge should be there, because sometimes what is going to happen is admin will disable some features or enable some features. Because of he enables some features or disable some features, we'll get some benefits. Those, if you want to understand what are the features are disabled, what are the features are enabled, then what kind of changes are there in developer level, then at least we should know administrator side also. And sequence as well. Sequence means just I showed you this kind of sequence, how to create a sequences, how to create a batches, how to schedule those batches also. We are going to discuss in sequences. In case if my jobs are running at nightly basis, if one particular job is aborted, I'm going to get a message to my alarm points saying that to my mobile, then how to restart my sequence or what kind of activities we can do in sequence. Apart from this, we also discuss about advanced topic, that is information analysis and information services administrator. And along with this, we are also going to focus on QualityStage. This is okay, at least a basic overview of QualityStage, because if we want to discuss QualityStage and information analyzer and business glossary, those kind of advanced topics of data stage only, we have separate batch. That is, we are going to have 40 hours of time only for QualityStage and information analyzer. But in our session, along with data stage, we are going to cover QualityStage also, an overview. What is this QualityStage? What kind of quality we are going to implement in data stage, and how to implement quality. These are the different kind of jobs we can develop in QualityStage. See, this is QualityStage stages. Okay, how to implement address verifications, how to do process of this address verification, okay, and what kind of process we are going to do in QualityStage batch processing, and how we are going to develop a job for this particular batch processing, and what kind of the templates we are going to create in match specification templates. See, these are different kind of match specification templates we created in match stages.
So for a different kind of requirement, we go for a quality stage.
Right. For every project, okay, nowadays you can see that they're also going for QualityStage. QualityStage means it's a kind of quality checking tool. For example, you are sending an address of your customer. Customer filled an application in a bank. When we receive an application of customer for account opening, in earlier, when you use only data stage, we are doing some kind of validation on the data. They're loading it finally into warehouse. But what is the address he mentioned, or what is the phone number he mentioned, what is the email ID he mentioned? Are those really correct email IDs? Who knows that? Don't know. Because I'm in India, I'm sending the data of Paris customers. I don't know what is the exact address of them. If I know, then I can check it. That's the reason we are sending entire our data before loading the data into warehouse to QualityStage. When we send the data into QualityStage, the QualityStage is a tool which we are going to use it for quality checking. Like when I give the customer address, based on that it can give the phone number, PIN zip code number of the customer, and what is the area, is that area whatever he mentioned is correct area name. For example, I mentioned that state name is Andhra Pradesh and located in America. Then our quality stage will identify, it will try to check that do we have any state name with Andhra Pradesh in America? If yes, then it will return. If no, it will return some message saying that there is this state name is not matching. For example, you give a correct state name and correct city name, but you give a completely zip code is wrong. When you give a zip code is wrong, then how to rectify that zip code? There are lot of stages are there in quality stage to check the address of the customers, to check the relationship between one customer to other customer, means one type of data to other type of data, and make the data into standardized format, and removing the duplicates of the data processing. And even 8.7 onwards, we have one new stage is there that's called AVI, Address Verification Interface. By using that address verification interface, we are going to have, there are a lot of advantages there to check the address of the customers, and MNS is their multinational standardization stage to check the customer multinational addresses, because sometimes some particular business holders or stakeholders, whoever it may be, they are going to have their address in different locations. Their home branch in US, their sister companies are into different locations. Then we want to check all the address of that particular company. Then we are going to use multinational standardization stage to make that to check the data of the multiple countries. There are a lot of advantages are there in quality stage to improve the quality of your data without doing normal ETL operation.
So
for that we have
testing developers use this quality stage.
Can you please come again your question? I did not get you clearly.
Basically, for testing purpose, they do go for the quality stage. I mean, for
no. That is not for testing.
Okay.
Once we develop any data stage jobs with the quality stage stages, even when you are going for production also, we are going to use same job there as well to process the data into target warehouse. Because if I use only data stage, I'm not going to get very good quality. If you want to get very good quality, we need to have better quality stage stages. If I don't use quality stage stages, or even if you go for Informatica or other ATL tools also, they have different quality stage tools along with them. That is Informatica have IDQ, and third-party tools are the Trillium quality. These tools are used to check the quality of our data. Nowadays, okay, data they can maintain terabytes and megabytes of data even by using large database also. But is that reliable data? Is that directly useful for business? Is that having correct contact information of customers? No. Sometimes because by using normal data stage ETL operations, when we load the data stage to that one, we can rectify the we can do cleansing up to some point only. Data stage stages will never check whether the address of the customer, whatever he mentioned, is correct or not. For example, I mentioned state name is Andhra Pradesh. I mentioned that in America. Is it really located America in Andhra Pradesh? By using data stage stages, can I check that? No, because data stage don't know. It will check only do we have any spaces in the name, do we have any special characters in the name. Those things only it will check. But I want to check, yes, there is a state name called AP in America, or no, there is no state name called like this. To check that one, we need quality stage. We want to provide 100% reliable data to business, then we should go for quality. Otherwise, if I use ETL tool, if you are getting good data, no issues. ETL tool only can do ETL operation, but it will not check for quality. Even nowadays, if you see the requirement in RISE or COP to COP, they are asking quality stage knowledge or experience. Who are having quality stage experience, they are looking for more into that side. We also focus on this quality stage, and finally, we'll also discuss one project. What is the basic architecture of the project, and what are the dimension tables and fact tables of this one, modeling, flow of subject areas, discussion of HLD and LLD, project flow, job designs, complex job discussions, system testings, how to do different testings, system testing, user acceptance testing, regression testing, end-to-end testing, and deployment process. creation of job design documents, ORI documents, scripting for automation, discussion of scheduling tools, and how to do production support or migrations like fixing of defects and problem tickets or incidents or what are the quality center defects we are getting, how to handle those defects also. This is all the information we are going to discuss in our session up to 45 to 50 hours of time. And generally we are going to get different other project will be on any of domain. And certification also I'll help you out to do some clearance of certification on data stage and quality stage and information analyzer as well. I'll send you some documentation and I'll send you some dumps. Those will be useful for clearing of the certification and performance tuning approach of data stage jobs. And installation process will be taken care by admin. We are going to give you materials wise, that is about data processing basics, data stage, Unix commands, shell scripting, and databases. Okay, any questions?
Hi. Is it possible to convert the parallel jobs to server jobs and vice versa?
No, parallel jobs to server jobs is not possible, because when we go for parallel jobs, especially few stages need a C++ compiler. Server jobs don't have C++ compiler. When you convert parallel jobs to server jobs, it's not going to run there. But server jobs to parallel job we are going to do. That's we can do in migrations and we can do normal in deployment.
Okay.
Is there any requirement to installation like only like Windows XP or?
Right. If you need 8.7 software direct installation to your machine, you need to have 8 GB of RAM in your machine, and yes, look, the latest processor should be there. And hard disk wise, there is no much difference if you have little less space also, but RAM wise, this should be 8 GB minimum if you want direct installation. Or if you want to install through VMware, that for even 8.7 it need highest. But if you want to get, for example, you have only 2 GB RAM or 4 GB, then you can get 8.5 or below version, that is 8.1. Any other questions?
The disk, I mean, it's like 320. I mean, how much would be the like disk space needed?
Disk space, I think it requires once installation is done, I think maximum 8 to 10 GB.
Okay. So only the data warehouse basics would be the theory part. The other everything you would be showing it in.
Right. Totally practical except data warehousing basics. In basics also, I'm going to explain through project, not discussion of everything theoretical. I'm going to use some project architecture. In that project, how we are implementing these basics that I'm going to explain. It's not completely theoretical. Any other questions by anyone?
So would it take like 1.5 months to complete
Yep, it will take 30 to 35 days of sessions because we are going to put Saturday and Sundays like more hours. If you're okay.
Normally, how many hours will spend each day?
Each day 1 hour.
Each day 1 hour. Okay.
Yep, because right now I have 4 batches running every day. If I start this batch, this is this batch.
Okay.
Every day 1 hour, and few days what I'm going to do is, because recently one batch is started, a new batch is started, for example, I'm going to club those batches also. 1 hour in this class we are going to discuss the data state development side. In that batch, for example, admin is running. I'm going to ask you to come in that batch also. You can attend parallelly, and then totally it will take 30 to 35 days. Not have to worry about 45 hours, it's not days.
I have a question. Actually, do you have any fast track courses going on? I mean, fast track batches?
No, I don't have fast track. I'm not going to say fast track also.
Oh,
If you go for fast track, what we are going to do, fast track means we'll cover the topic, we'll not cover in depth.
okay.
Instead of that fast tracks, it's better to go for help grade.
Okay.
So when would the next class, if it start, like any start date?
Yep,
or
that you can check with Teja. Okay, they're going to set up a batch. They will, as per their plan, maybe tomorrow they want to start actual session.
Okay. Your good name, please?
Suresh.
Suresh.
Fine then, we'll meet tomorrow. I have another batch, I need to jump in that. Thanks for joining. We'll meet next session. Yep.